Well, hello and welcome to my channel, Mary Born ND, and also Gardening with Granny. I just had a bird land something on my shirt and I couldn't figure out what was it. Not raining yet. No, it's bird pooping. So anyways, it's time for the early May tour. So much has grown since the late April tour, and I just have to share it with you. So behind me you can see the variegated willow. Let me turn the camera around. So this is my variegated willow, which I absolutely love. And this is its prime time. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's not quite at its peak because these will turn peachy color. And right now they're a little bit on the peach side, but they do turn even pinker. So yeah, let us make sure we take a good gander at that. I'm going to back up just so you can see. It is quite large, but I do contain it, and I love it. So coming around this end, you can see that the peonies are up. I have strung them up because in times past they droop if I don't. My neighbor gifted me with this beautiful plant. I'll put it on the screen because right now it's not just coming into my head, but it is very, very pretty. Mandevilla, it's a mandevilla. And this peony is not quite far along, and of course the traditional ants on it. And actually what they're not there to open the peony. It's there because they like the juicy sap that is on the peony. The cathedral vines are looking good. They haven't grown a whole lot, but they are still looking very healthy, and I'm very pleased with that. And I'm sure that when it's warmer, they will do much better. This is another grouping of peonies. These are deep rose colored with a yellow center. And my comfrey is doing very well. Shasta daisies, I still have to contain that clump a bit. They've encroached on my artemisia. And the sage is coming up, but definitely needs some attention. The lemon balm is doing great. I have to contain that as well. We're putting cardboard down and then putting compost on top in an effort to contain the weeds. But it doesn't contain the comfrey. As you can see, the comfrey is pushed up through the cardboard, and it really has a mind of its own. This is horseradish, and it's doing very, very nice. My chives are blossoming. I've had a couple of harvests off of that, and I will harvest the blossoms as well. The this is the elephant garlic, and it's doing really well. I have dahlias in the cloth pots that we'll see. Who knows if they will come up or not. I've also got a variegated iris back there that is gorgeous. We'll see. This will be the second year for it. And more comfrey, so I've got to get in here and contain the comfrey because otherwise it'll just take over the garden. Got other plants that have to be potted up yet. Not potted up, they're in their pots. They have to be planted. Got tansy growing. That's a ferny looking plant. Very, very pretty, but there's too much of it, so yep, we are working on it, but it's a work in progress. And you can see how much the hostas have grown since the April. They were just budding through. There's our little bunny. Its home is underneath that massive lacy maple. And I don't mind, as long as it doesn't eat all my veggies. So I put in some rockin' purple salvia, deep purple, I think, yeah, rockin' deep purple salvia. I love this. This will fill in this middle section and look absolutely lovely. I have an iris coming. So I think by the end of the month, those should be in bloom. I have 2 patches, different varieties. The spring blooms are just about done, but I want to leave the foliage in to feed it for next year. The coral bells, our heuchera, are coming back. They need to be fertilized again. I did fertilize them in March, but they could probably use it again. But let's admire this absolutely fabulous maple. It is in prime color. Absolutely love it. It's burgundy. Just gorgeous. So lacy, it's the right word. And huge. It is definitely a hide and seek plant. So I have some pots that I got from the market this morning for a gift. And this beautiful peony. Not at the marshmallow stage yet, but getting there. This is the earliest blooming peony I have. This is its 3rd year. And my hydrangea, beautiful. I don't know if there'll be any blooms this year, but I'm just pleased that they're surviving. These are the ones I got in 2022 when we went to Mackinac Island for the Proven Winners show. Here's another peony, and you can see that it's further behind, but that's okay. It's lovely to have peonies that so you have that wonderful smell for quite a period of time. Primrose are just about done, and I've ordered my coleus that goes in this area and stays all summer long. Here's another peony, and this is the 2nd year for this one, and I believe it's the 3rd year for this one. This is the one that is like the Hawaiian coral, just gorgeous. And of course I have lots of lily of the valley. I have to contain them, but they're so pretty this time of year. My astilbe is coming back, looking gorgeous. Brunnera and the ferns. Now you can see why I call this my fern garden, because of the ferns. They don't do as well in August when the sun beats down. There's no irrigation to this area, so I have to hand water everything. We did try drip irrigation, and it just didn't work properly. By the time I got down to this area, it was dry anyway, and you can tell I'm Anxious to see some rain. I planted some white queen caladium in this area. There's 3 of them. We'll see. They like it hot, and it's been, maybe high of 70, but it's gone down to like 40. I have this planter that you've seen before. These are the ranunculus that I planted. I planted quite a few around. There's my columbine coming back. If you keep deadheading it, it will keep blooming for quite some time. There's another pot with ranunculus, moonflower coming up. The hellebores are just about done. Well, they're going to be bushes. And something is eating my hollyhocks. I'm going to have to dust it with diatomaceous earth. And there's some of my petunias. You'll see those in another video where I'm planting my entrance garden. Oh, there's a Mother's Day present that I got from my daughter-in-law. And we'll see if this hydrangea does anything this year. Got some other lovely hanging baskets there. These hostas too have come in pretty good. Got some anise hyssop, and I've planted some of the ranunculus there. I've got also in here some of that white queen. I think there's 8 of them. I think 8, maybe 7. I'm not sure. But that's where the bare spots are. The grapes, doing great. Even have a little bit of grapes coming in there. I don't know if you're seeing those on camera. These are probably more prominent. Right there, those are grapes. Doing well. Did put in this clematis, and it's probably just about done. So our veggie gardens are, this one is covered. We're getting ready to put in some cabbage and broccoli. The onions are doing really well. I planted some dill, and I don't know if there's carrots coming up. I have a hard time with carrots. They don't seem to be coming up, but it's early days yet. It's only been like 5 days, I think, since I planted those. And that bed is waiting for tomatoes. We're gonna put some more dirt in it. Getting closer to the road, you may hear some road noises. These clematis are doing really well. They're coming up. The hostas in this area are filling in, looking great. And there's another clematis. Something ate this lily, which I've got something going on here that I'm going to have to do some dusting. The goji berry has come back. Who knows? Poor thing. It keeps working at it. This area has to be weeded again. Constant job, isn't it? This is one of the elderberries. Nothing on that. This is the black lace elderberry, and you can see some of the berries forming. I trimmed this one, this elderberry, and I'm going to have to keep chopping at it. It can get as high as 10 feet if I let it, so got to make sure I keep on that. And it looks like our hibiscus is starting to come up, but man, the creeping Charlie, that is something else. Forsythias are done blooming. This is the time we want to trim it. We have a couple weeks to trim it, but oftentimes this is when it does its new growth, and you don't want to trim it in the fall because that's when it forms its flowers for the next year. So this is my entrance garden. And I did a video on that, which is kind of a succession video. I can't do this all at once. And today I purchased the begonias that will surround this area, which is deceptively takes a lot of plants. You know, you're covering quite a bit of yardage, but I'm very pleased with the way the petunias are looking so far. Another glorious sight, that gorgeous red, and then you pan over and you've got the lilacs. It's such a beautiful spring sight to see. And then you've got the dark green of that white pine behind it. Just lovely. Iris is growing in the bird garden here. They should be looking lovely by the time I do my late May video. The grasses are gorgeous. I got them cut in time, so they don't have any weird haircuts. We could use that rain that's coming and some mulch. Another glimpse of this gorgeous tree. This tree is 26 years old. My granddaughter is 27, and we planted this on her first anniversary, or first birthday. And she's getting married in September, so we're very excited for her. The white pine has lots of little blooms on it. So interesting. Loaded. I think it's a happy tree. And the julep trees are starting to leaf in. Let's go check out the pink dogwood. Well, it's leafing out. It doesn't have as many blooms as it has had in the past. Still a lovely tree. The apple tree has almost lost all of its blooms. There's one hanging in there. Oh, another little cluster. Such an old tree. And poor thing, I knew nothing about how to prune a tree when we got here, so there's lots of mistakes in this tree. But it still gives us apples. Sometimes wormy. Borrow beauty from my neighbor's yard. He's threatened to cut those down a couple of times, and I keep saying, no, don't do that. And there's our apple tree. I'm trying something that I learned from Ruth Zimmerman. Let's get closer. Today my husband and I hung this jug of solution. It has vinegar, molasses, water, and a little bit of ammonia. And apparently what happens with wormy apples is the fact that the moths lay their eggs in the ground, and then in the springtime the worms come up and they're looking for food, and they will go to this solution, which stops them from going up into the tree and eating the apples. They will go to the center of the apple and eat. So if you've seen apples that they look kind of good on the outside, and then when you open it up, there's worms inside. Apparently it's from there. I'll link where she talks about this in the description below. So that's it for our early May tour, and I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.